Doing in our Stay Pong Positive interview series. I'm going to have the pleasure of getting the opportunity to talk with a lot of our club owners and operators, and I'm honored today to be joined in our first interview with Will Shortz, who, as many of you know, is the owner, one of the partners in really one of the most prestigious clubs in the entire United States, the Westchester Table Tennis Center. First of all, Will, I want to thank you very much for coming on.
Good to be here, Mark. Thanks a lot.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's unfortunate that we're in these circumstances that bring us together. I know that you're in an area of the world right now that has really been at the epicenter of a lot of concern here in the United States, at least. Why don't I just start and find out how things are going in Westchester?
Well, as far as the coronavirus goes, there was an outbreak of cases in New Rochelle. It's about 25 minutes from Pleasantville, where our club is. But of course, we have shut the club by state order, and there's just no table. The club is empty now. I don't know if you know, but I've been maintaining a table tennis streak. I've played table tennis every day since October 3rd, 2012. And I've been worrying how can I keep my streak going while this thing is going on, while my club is closed. However, I happen to be hosting a member of the Ghanaian national table tennis team in my house. And there's other local players, local members of our club who've offered to help. So every day I go over to the club, drive over, it's just 5 blocks from my house, make sure it's okay, and then I play a little bit.
Kind of a dual responsibility there. I got you at about 2,730 consecutive days of ping pong here. Will, that means you, if that is true, if that's accurate, you have surpassed Cal Ripken and his Major League Baseball record. I think you and I have joked back and forth about that in the past. And, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm not going to stop.
Don't stop now. Exactly. And it's actually a good message to send to the other persons in the table tennis community as well, to do what you can to stay physically active, and not only physically active, Will, but you've already kind of alluded to this, staying mentally sharp as well during these tough times.
Yeah. A few years ago, I had a mental health expert at my house, and we were talking about crossword puzzles, and I was saying that crosswords are good for the brain, and he agreed, because crosswords test so many parts of the brain. But I said that crossword puzzles activate all parts of the brain, and he said no, there are some parts that doesn't activate. And then later on, I mentioned that I play table tennis every day, and this guy said, table tennis exercises every part of the brain that crosswords don't. So I feel I get a
perfect combination,
full mental workout every day.
Physical and mental. And just as a side note, I think many people who know you will know you're the puzzle editor of the New York Times. Obviously, that we were talking off the air about how people love to do puzzles, first of all, but I think even in these particular times when we are kind of shuttered in intentionally with with good intent, I think, is that how important your day job is to keep people active and give them this opportunity to challenge themselves in a completely different field.
Right. Yeah, crosswords and puzzles are more popular now probably than ever. And the New York Times is actually looking to add more puzzles very soon. So I'm busier than ever.
You know, one of the reasons that we're getting together with our club owners and operators is to kind of, I don't know if I would use the term commiserate, but to get together and kind of think about, this difficult moment where, as you've already noted, by state order, essentially in virtually all the states I'm aware of, that these public gatherings of 10 persons or more are prohibited. And it was required virtually every USATT club to shutter its doors at least for a moment. It's very difficult. Even though I'm sure that everybody does this for the love of the game, it's still a business. And I think it does create some difficulties for the business owners running table tennis clubs.
Yeah. Well, I have a cushion, so it's not affecting me so much. But there's another very important club in the country that I got an email from, and they set up a GoFundMe to ask for help to get them through this crisis.
Well, it's a great idea. One of the elements about table tennis that I've noticed, and I know we haven't talked much, but I come from a little bit different world. I come from the hockey world, and of course, it's very team oriented there. And one of the elements that I've seen truly throughout the entire table tennis community is that it is a community, that the people really do support one another, that it's not that clubs are really in competition with one another, that everybody's hoping that these big and successful clubs and the smaller clubs as well are able to stay afloat and continuing going because it's in the best interest of the table tennis community generally.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It's about a community. At our club, it's we have players from 8 or 9 years old up until the 80s, all skill levels, all ethnicities, both men and women. We have one of the top Paralympians in the United States, a member of our club. So it's for everybody, and it's a warm feeling in the club.
You talk about your club, and obviously it's been around for quite a while. I think that at least since 2011,
Right.
the Westchester Club has been in existence. You guys have done a tremendous job of building up a relatively robust membership. I think it's around 200 members that you have there. Some
Right.
great tournaments that you run. What advice would you give, Will, as a person who has had success in the table tennis club operating committee area? What advice would you give to somebody who's starting out saying, hey, this is what I would recommend if you want to build a club that has success in the United States?
Wow, that's a great question. First of all, don't expect that you're going to make money from this. That's probably not going to happen.
Right.
Our club I've visited, I have played at 246 clubs around the country and all 50 states. I believe I'm the only person ever to play at a table tennis club in all 50 states. And our club is one of the friendliest, and I think it's important to set that tone. And at our club, it's set from the top. When people come in, we greet them, and it's a warm feeling that everyone has when they come in. They feel like it's home. I've been at some clubs where I've walked in and sat down, no one said hello, and I maybe sat there for 15 minutes before anyone acknowledged me. It's not a good way to, that's not a good impression that you're leaving. And always put yourself in whatever activity you do in life, put yourself in the position of the other person. And at our club, we have a league night set up that works for top players and intermediate players and players who are just beginning. So put yourself in other people's positions and make the experience as enjoyable and satisfying as you can.
Great advice. For those of you who may be joining us midstream here, I'm Mark Thompson. I'm with USATT Table Tennis. I'm talking with Will Shortz, who is the club owner, operator, a partner in one of the great clubs of America, the Westchester Table Tennis Center. Talking a little bit about operating a club in the table tennis world and also difficult times that we're experiencing right now with the pandemic of COVID-19. And you raise a good point, Will, about the depth of your club. That, you know, it looks like from what I've been able to read and see that you are very friendly to the beginner, the person who's really never even been to a table tennis club, a person who's just learning the sport. But you've also hosted and had a number of really high-end players who come out of Westchester. We learned today that the International Olympic Committee has postponed the 2020 Olympics at least until the summer of 2021. I'm wondering whether you've had any discussions with any of your elite level table tennis players, including, you know, Olympians who may have an idea or a thought about the necessity of postponing the Olympics.
Well, I haven't talked to anyone about postponing the Olympics, but that just seemed like something that had to be done. The Olympics are only 4 months away, and people have to make plans. So, and with the coronavirus pandemic, the athletes can't even train for the Olympics. So it really has to be done. I'm also chairman of the World Puzzle Federation. Our world championship was going to be in Shanghai, China, in October. And basically, we've come to the decision we have to postpone that because teams won't be ready and people are afraid to fly to China. They're just afraid to fly, period. So we're just going to have to postpone.
Obviously, we've talked a lot about the social aspects of table tennis. Are you able to do anything with your members and reach out to them, whether it's through social media or whether it's an internal network amongst the persons that you're used to seeing in the club to kind of check on everybody, make sure everybody's doing okay?
Interesting. Well, I don't know. I haven't been doing that yet. I think people are just waiting for the pandemic to pass. I will tell you some news though, where our club is going to be expanding this summer and fall. We currently have 19 tables, and we're expanding to 27 tables. We're taking over
Wow.
7,000 more square feet next to us. We're going to set up bleachers so we have more spectators at our tournaments, and we'll increase the prize money at our tournaments. It's already $6,000 a month with $2,000 for first, but we're going to increase that to, we hope, attract even higher level players and more players. So that's exciting news. And really, as soon as this interview is over, I'm going over to the building and getting a tour of the adjoining space so we can start planning what we want to do with it.
And keep your consecutive day streak alive, of course.
Well,
let's do that as well.
That's a secondary
Don't
reason.
make this the day that we end that, Will. I don't need that on my back.
Yeah.
But that sounds great. It's actually a really good message to kind of end on, the message of hope that you are expanding, you're growing, and that I really think in these times, our thought was to join the community behind this movement of stay Pong positive, and really that message of growth and coming through into the fall is really a good message to send along.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Well, Will, I want to thank you very much for your time. I obviously want to wish you the best and continuing on in your day streak here. I'm sure it's going to continue well. I want to wish everybody in the Westchester community as well to be safe and to be healthy and to be, as controlled as you possibly can under these circumstances. I do want to thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
All right. I want to also let everybody know that we're encouraging you to be a part of the Stay Pong Positive movement that we've got going. It's very easy to do. You can post your video message of hope on hashtag Pong Positive on any of the social media elements that are out there, Twitter, Instagram, etc. You can also email a 30-second message of hope to Pong Positive to Chad Nasinski, who's our new communications director at USATT. That's just Chad, CHAD, period, Nasinski, KNASINSKI, at USATT.org. We're going to put those messages together, get them out to everybody. Will, once again, thank you very much for your time, and I wish you the best.
Thanks a lot, Mark.